Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today I'm going to share with you my completed journal that I had made for Through the Seasons. Now this is a year-long challenge that I am doing with Jeanielinguine and some other wonderful creative ladies. I'll have everyone that is playing along listed below. You may have seen my other video of putting this one together, and I had an elastic closure. I decided that I would swap it out with a ribbon closure just so I could keep the journal closed a little tighter, because now it is one chunky monkey. I enjoyed playing in this journal. When I make the next one, there will be some things that I will do differently, just to make it easier to work in. I don't mind the journal being chunky. It's just with the single signature, you will see when I show you, it made it a little challenging, which I kind of knew, and I think I did mention it in my video when I first shared this journal, that when you're working on the other side it may become challenging. Anyway, let me share what the pages look like. Now there's 52 photos in this journal and I counted 26 layouts. Now the imperfections that I pointed out previously, you know, things like this and the bulk on this flap here, I've learned to embrace it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to try and fix it up, because I just love how this journal has turned out. I've added a library pocket to the inside, which I am going to write the start and finish date of the pages in this journal, just as a quick reference for in years to come. On the first page, I decided to add a card and added my photos on, just as a different way of creating a layout. I have got my journaling on the back. And you will notice throughout my style hasn't changed with simple journaling. I write the basics down, which is usually a title, a brief description of the photos if I want to, and the date. And I tried to keep the embellishments to match the papers, just to make creating easier. And you will also notice there are some layouts where I have mixed and matched, just because I was ready to do that. And overall it was quite fun, and I'm glad I made it to the end on completing this. And I will say that the last several weeks I think I worked on the pages every single day. Even if it was 15 minutes, I still did something to get to the end, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. You will see pages like this where it's purely for decoration, and it is something that I just like with journals. And I think it also adds to the theme of the journal. So this one's just Stay Cozy, and I mixed various collections to create this. On the next page, I simply created a pocket with my photo mat, and I added a tag just documenting the everyday, where we eat dinner, what we had for dinner one night, and that is it. On the next page, I have actually covered up my address. I used a sketch from Scrapper Sketch to help me with photo placement, and also inspire me to use all the bits and pieces that we have in the kit. So this is the sketch I followed. As I said, it's from Scrapper Sketch, and I think all the sketches I used for this journal are from Scrapper Sketch, and I will point it out as I go along. Now with this photo, it seems to happen without fail that my husband is home on an RDO when the parcel arrives. And I absolutely love that he takes a selfie with the parcel. I just love that. So I have just got a few sentiments on here with the date. I don't have anything else that I really want to journal about. So sometimes my layouts just are quite decorative, and that is it. This would be one of my favourite layouts in this journal. Here is the next one, which also would have come from a sketch, which is this one. I'd say, with the borders. So I have a border sticker and some offcuts here. Just finished off with some embellishments to make my clusters. Now this page was put together with embellishments from another collection that was sitting on my desk. And it actually blends in quite well with this album. And it matches the theme of my photos, which is our lemon tree starting to bloom. The next one is Miley's new bed. She absolutely loves this new bed, and here are just some photos documenting when she got the bed. We went out for dinner. I don't have any photos of the restaurant or our meals. However, I just made a pocket and put the menu inside as a reminder. And it's just something I just wouldn't do if I was creating a traditional layout, adding brochures and other things that you will see as I progress through winter. I created this layout using a sketch. Which is this one, also from Scrap a Sketch, with the tags. I just decided to add them along the top. I decided to take a selfie. I loved these flowers. They're in bloom along the pathway. And I just had my hair done, so I thought, why not document the fact I had my hair done and also get these beautiful flowers in my photo album. The next one is just documenting meat that we got delivered. I also needed some inspiration on decorating this page because it's so photo heavy. So I did use elements from this sketch, which is also from Scrap a Sketch, to put the scallops beneath my photo. The next one is just taking a snapshot of what some Friday mornings look like, which is grabbing a coffee and some food from a coffee shop which is on the next corner from where we live. I mixed several collections with this. We've got Cartabella, Pink Fresh, this is Pink Fresh, and Simple Stories. And this is Kaiser Craft. And it all just blends together like one collection. On the next page, I took inspiration from another sketch, which is this one from Scrap a Sketch with the long tag. I decided to add it to the side of my layout here. And this is simply us just having brunch Sunday morning in town with my husband. The next one is quite simple. Dinner that we had one night. Just to remember. Now the next one, I did go outside the kit because it's a themed layout, and I think sometimes you do have to do that to use the themes we love to buy, and I do love to buy Christmas. So to make it still fit in with my album, I did choose colours that closely match the collections I'm using. I have my journaling on the front of the card with some simple embellishments. Then I do have this paper clip to hold the card closed, and I have my photos on the inside. The next one, I just simply added a photo to my cabinet card that was sewn into my journal. And this is just simply documenting my husband playing golf on Saturday. And the journaling is just simply on the back. The next layout is also my husband. He got his new glasses and he sent me photos of what they look like when he was at lunch. And I also wanted to document the fact that he turned 43 the same day. Here is where I tore some of the papers out. So the envelope is gone, and also the white cardstock page I also just ripped out. Now the binding is a little loose from me doing that, and if it becomes too loose I will just rebind the journal. This layout is one that I used Uniquely Creative's Page on Page, where I fussy cut all the elements out and used it as die cuts for my layout. I did use quite a bit of that sheet and added some extra bits and pieces from my kit to finish it off. So we did get new windows installed in our house. So this is just showing the old windows and photos of the new windows. On the next page, I used a sketch to help me put this one together. And it may have been this one again, just to get some different ideas on what I can do. I have got a business card that is just clipped to the top, just so it's not a permanent fixture on my page. And I let the background paper do all the work with creating colour. Now this is just a photo of me. I went to the hairdressers again, so I took a photo outside the front of the door because I knew that new doors would be on the way, and I wanted to at least capture the memory of what our old front door looked like. I also got a new jumper and I wanted to get a photo of it, and I just decided to combine the two photos of myself on the one layout, even though I'm talking about two different things. And I thought it was just a good opportunity to use some sentiments on this layout that is really just everyday photos. On this card is another just decoration piece that I came back to after I completed all the layouts in this journal, because I used scraps and I also didn't want to use any sentiments that I may have wanted for another layout. So I, at this point of the journal, left this until I'd finished all my layouts to put this one together. And it's pretty simple, yet it's just something extra in my journal. And the back is just plain, and I think it just helps the eye rest a little bit with all the clusters and journaling on my pages. So this is another one, just taking photos of dinner. It's a nice memory, I think, of the, days gone by. Here is the next layout. Now there are multiple photos for this day trip, so the photos have been spread out over a few pages. So we mainly went down to Montville to see Spooky Hollow, which is a historical museum. We had a late lunch and afternoon tea at a place close by, so I've got those photos. And it's just simply embellished with blocks. These I used my heart punch with some of the scraps just to add some colour, and just a few sentiments to finish it off because of the layout being so photo heavy. On the other side, we also went to a crystal place and we picked up a few crystal pieces. So I've just wrote the description of them both. So this is a blue onyx and it's 60 centimetres tall and 3.7 kilograms in weight. And this one is a rose quartz wish tree, and they are in the same room, just to go with our Marilyn picture in the background here. On the next page, it is pretty simple, and I wanted to document that I had been unwell. My husband also has been unwell, believe it or not, just with colds this year. Neither of us had COVID or influenza A, which is still going around. And it took us several weeks to actually feel right again. So I just simply had a photo of my test and just documenting the fact of how unwell we have been this winter. On the next page, this is just showing some real life, and I pulled out some die cuts from a masculine collection, and I managed to use a lot of the pieces on several layouts in this album, and you will see them as we keep going along. So my poor husband, he cut his finger at work and he sent me this photo. He did get a deep cut to his finger. He didn't need stitches. The doctor just checked him out, cleaned the cut, and gave him a tetanus injection. And I also just documented how he cut his finger, which was on a stainless steel sheet. The next layout is a project car that we've had bought since 2013, and it has been a long-term project with getting paint, the interior, and we're now ready to get the engine and gearbox installed. So I just snapped a couple of photos of the car being loaded onto the tow truck to go to the workshop to get hopefully a running car by the end of it all. I used the die cuts from the same pack. These papers are also from another masculine collection that I just pulled out of my cupboard. I just thought, I have the supplies for the theme. There is no reason why I can't use them documenting memories that we're making in this journal, even though I've pulled a kit together. Why should I make that rule that if the theme fits the photos, why not match them with what I'm currently playing with? The colour schemes work, and it matches what I'm talking about. Here is another example. So we have photos from the workshop. As you can see, we've got an engine in there now and a transmission in the car, and used embellishments from the same collection from the previous pages. And these elements here are from the Pink Fresh collection, which is also a masculine collection, to help tie it in. Here is my last layout. Chocolate and chai latte for breakfast. Now, this was a happy accident because I asked my husband, could I get a muffin? But I was talking about, you know, those egg and bacon muffins. Because I wasn't specific, he thought I was talking about, you know, the sweet treats. We did have a laugh about it. He did feel incredibly disappointed that he didn't understand what I was asking for, and I didn't want him to feel bad either, because I wasn't specific in what I wanted, and I did say that to him. So this is what I had for breakfast one morning. I thought it was a good excuse anyway. So this is another example where I'm on the last layout. I decided to glue one page to another, so I didn't have any extra pages in my journal. And I just glued just other layers on top, and I think it turned out quite well. I have nothing on the back, so I'm just going to enjoy this wood grain with the doily decoration. I know when I was constructing the journal, I was talking about adding pockets. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to leave the back cover as it is, because I don't really need the pockets for anything. I've documented everything that I've wanted to within my pages. So what would I do differently for my next journal? I would reduce the number of pages in my signature, so I would have multiple signatures instead of the one. I think it would just balance out a little better. It will still end up being a chunky monkey. It will just be spread out further within the spine, like my Vicky B journal. This one only has 5 pages per signature. I will just share what I have left over from my kit, and they will go back into the collections, so at least they're kept together and they're put away nice and tidy. So starting off with Kaiser Craft, so I've got Dandelion's collection with the cutter parts. This one is from Lilac Mist. This one is from Uniquely Creative, Wisteria Lane. A piece of white cardstock. These tags from Simple Stories. Pink Fresh Studio. These two are from Cartabella. And this base page from Kaiser Craft Antiquities. And I don't believe that I use this collection at all in my journal. I've got the scraps, die cuts and the sticker book that I did not play with at all. So this will probably stay out because I am doing the base pages series with Ginger. So I hope to play with that in that series. Here are all my other scraps from creating the pages. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to deal with this yet. This needs more thought. I've got my alphabet stickers, which will probably go back into the collections they came from. The general alphabet stickers will probably just go back into my drawer where I keep the rest of my alphabet stickers. This layout idea will go back into the collection it came from Uniquely Creative. These paper pads will just go back into my stash. There's plenty of papers left to use. And these other embellishments will just go into my section where I keep my die cuts and enamel dots. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me take you through the pages of this journal. I hope it inspires you to create, and I look forward to sharing what I'm doing next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.